Imagine a continent where goods, services, and people move freely across borders. A continent where African entrepreneurs can access a market of over 1 billion people without the barriers of tariffs and trade restrictions. That vision is no longer just a dream. It is being built today through the African Continental Free Trade Area, or AfCFTA. In this video, we discuss and explain how this project is going to reshape the way business is done in Africa and between Africans. Launched in 2021, it is one of the most ambitious economic projects in modern history. It aims to unite the 54 countries of the African continent into a single market. That single market shall have a combined GDP of more than $3 trillion. If successful, it will not only change how Africa does business internally, but also reshape the continent's place in the global economy. For decades, Africa's trade patterns have been dominated by exports of raw materials to Europe, Asia, and North America. At the same time, African countries traded surprisingly little with one another. Intra-African trade accounted for less than 15% of the continent's total commerce, compared to more than 60% within Europe. This lack of integration has meant that African businesses often struggle to scale up, and consumers faced high prices and limited choices. AfCFTA is designed to change that by reducing tariffs on up to 90% of goods, simplifying customs procedures, and harmonizing regulations. The potential is enormous. By removing trade barriers, AfCFTA creates opportunities for regional value chains. Imagine cars assembled in South Africa using components manufactured in Kenya and Ghana, or agricultural products processed in Côte d'Ivoire and exported seamlessly to Nigeria. These kinds of integrated supply chains make African economies more competitive globally, and they create jobs across multiple countries rather than in just one. Small and medium-sized enterprises, the backbone of Africa's economies, stand to benefit the most. With access to larger markets, SMEs can scale up production, attract investment, and reach new customers across borders. Digital platforms are already emerging to connect buyers and sellers from different countries, and e-commerce under AfCFTA could expand faster than ever before. For Africa's entrepreneurs, the next decade could be transformative. But it's not just about goods. Services like banking, logistics, and telecommunications will also become easier to deliver across borders. This opens the door for fintech companies in Nigeria to serve customers in Ghana, or for Kenyan logistics firms to expand into Tanzania. The freer movement of services can boost efficiency, lower costs, and drive innovation across the continent. Of course, the road to integration is not without challenges. Implementing AfCFTA requires harmonizing complex customs rules, building modern transport networks, and ensuring that smaller economies are not left behind. Infrastructure remains a major bottleneck. Without efficient rail, roads, and ports, free trade risks being more of an idea than a reality. Political will is also critical, as leaders must resist the temptation of protectionism in times of crisis. Still, the long-term gains outweigh the short-term hurdles. Studies estimate that AfCFTA could lift 30 million people out of extreme poverty and boost Africa's income by over $400 billion by 2035. It could also reduce dependence on volatile commodity exports by encouraging industrialization and diversification. For global investors, this is significant. A more integrated Africa is not only a bigger market, but also a more stable and predictable one. The impact goes beyond economics. AfCFTA is also a symbol of Africa's ambition to take control of its destiny. In a world where regional blocs like the European Union and ASEAN play powerful roles, Africa's ability to speak with one voice in trade negotiations could enhance its influence on the global stage. It signals that the continent is no longer content to be a passive participant in globalization, but is instead shaping the rules of trade for itself. So, how is AfCFTA reshaping business in Africa? By creating one of the largest markets in the world, by unlocking regional value chains, by empowering small businesses, and by positioning Africa as a more united economic force. The transformation will not happen overnight, but over the coming decades, it could fundamentally alter the way the continent does business, both internally and with the world. The big question is, will Africa seize this opportunity? Will governments, businesses, and investors come together to make AfCFTA work? Or will old barriers continue to slow progress? One thing is certain, the African Continental Free Trade Area has the potential to be the single most important driver of Africa's growth story in the 21st century. So, what do you think? Will AfCFTA succeed in transforming Africa into a true single market? Or will challenges hold it back? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Africa Biz Media for more insights into the markets and opportunities shaping Africa's future.